Well, hello everybody. Hi. How are we doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Welcome back. Every Monday. Welcome back to another Beauty Alchemy investigation. Yes. So every Monday, we're going to investigate something that that's either trending in beauty, wellness, or healthy aging. My goal isn't to convince you to buy something. It's not to tell you what to think. It's to get you it's to get you curious. Let's get curious together. Let's ask better questions. And today's investigation happened because of you guys. It did happen because of you. Let me open up my comments so that I can see, because you guys made me do this. You really did. I keep getting questions. Let me open this up so I can see what's going on. There we are. Okay, so you guys made me do this. You really did. You really did. So why am I doing this subject right now? Because every morning, y'all have been watching me mix my mushroom drink it through this crazy frequency charge straw. Yeah, y'all have been watching me do this. And you've been watching me make my rise. And I keep getting the same questions. Like, what's with the mushrooms? And I have to laugh, because if you would have asked me 5 years ago or so that I'd be drinking mushrooms every morning or midday to keep me going, I probably would have laughed in your face, because I'm not a huge mushroom fan. Really not. And, to me, mushrooms belong on a pizza, maybe an omelet, maybe. But it's definitely not something that I would want to eat in the morning. It's just not me. I just don't love mushrooms. But there's something that happened that completely changed my perspective on everything. And as many of you know, after my car accident, this was a long time ago, I was 23, and my health became a journey. And that's lasted well more than half of my life. I've tried medications, supplements, therapies, specialists, nutrition, pretty much anything you can imagine. I've tried it. And when I started drinking Rise, I wasn't expecting fireworks. I wasn't looking for a miracle. I was hoping for something, but I just wanted to feel better. And after a few days, I noticed that I did feel better. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't fireworks. It wasn't overnight. I just felt a little different, a little clearer, a little steadier, like enough that my curiosity kicked in. And if you know me, you know that curiosity is very dangerous to me, because I will dive right down that rabbit hole. So I picked up the container and I started reading the ingredients. 7 mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. I figured, okay, let's look this up. Maybe I'll spend 20 minutes looking them up. Well, 20 minutes turned into hours, and hours turned into days. And pretty soon, yes, I'm live, Evan. Hi. Pretty soon, I just started going down that rabbit hole, because I was listening to podcasts while I was cleaning and folding laundry. I was researching and looking things up. I had like 37 tabs on my computer open. It just, my laptop questioned my sanity. The deeper I went, the more fascinated I became. And not because I thought like I discovered some magical mushroom that's going to cure everything, but because I'd realized that I'd been asking the wrong questions for years. For years, I kept asking, what's wrong with my body? How do I fix my immune system? What supplement do I take for this problem over here? Because let's be honest, I had a lot of problems. And then I discovered this word that kept showing up over and over and over again in all my research, and that was adaptogens. And I'll be honest, the first time I heard adaptogen, I thought it sounded like something from Transformers. Like I was waiting for Optimus Prime to come out and be like, woohoo, come out of the woods. Optobot, Autobots adapt or something crazy like that. But I learned something, and I learned something beautiful, because adaptogens are believed to help the body maintain balance, not by forcing the body to do something it wasn't designed to do, but by supporting what the body is already trying to do. Because remember, we are wonderfully made. And that completely changed how I think about wellness. So instead of asking what supplement fixes this one problem, I started asking, how can I better support this incredible body that God created? And that's because, that's not because, but that's how, pretty much how Beauty Alchemy was formed. Like, I don't think healthy aging comes from one miracle ingredient. I think our bodies are like a symphony. And I brought this out a couple weeks ago. Or was it last week? I don't remember. But our bodies are like a symphony. Our brain, our heart, our immune system, our hormones, like our gut, like all of these things, our energy, it's every system, it's all connected. And when one instrument struggles, the whole orchestra feels it. So these 7 mushrooms reminded me that every part of our body has been faithfully serving us every second of every day, usually without us even noticing it. So the first mushroom, like, what am I at here? Here we are. This is what we're talking about today. And the first mushroom that completely fascinated me was lion's mane. And let me see here. I know I have images. There we go here. So lion's mane. That's a pretty cool name, I'm just going to say. I looked up a picture, and it doesn't even look like a mushroom. It looks like this big fluffy white pom-pom hanging off of a tree. And it kind of looks like the cousin it of mushrooms. And my first thought was, who looked at this and thought, oh, I'm totally going to eat that? Like, yeah. But when I started diving into it, I learned that it had been used for centuries throughout China and Japan. And that immediately got my attention, because whenever I discover something that's been appreciated for hundreds or even thousands of years, I always wonder, what did they notice before science had the tools to explain it? How did they know what it did? Modern researchers have identified compounds called, oh wow, what's it called? It starts with an H. Harrisinones, I think that's how you say it, and arenacinines or something. These really long names, and I can never say them right, so forgive me. But they're studying these things and how they support the body's natural production of nerve growth factor. Okay, let's think about that for just a second. So, nerve growth. Nerves are the slowest growing fiber in our entire body. So, if something can stimulate nerve growth factor, I'm going to pay attention to it. I have nerve damage on my left side from that bad car accident so many years ago. I still feel it occasionally. So if I can stimulate that nerve to fix itself, that'd be amazing, right? And we have to think about our brain like it's an internet. It's made up of billions of nerve cells. It's constantly communicating with one another. Like, it's firing all the time. And nerve growth factor helps us support the growth, maintenance, and the survival of those nerve cells. So researchers aren't really saying that lion's mane's a miracle. They're asking fascinating questions about how it might support healthy brain function. And that matters to me because I've dealt with brain fog. I'm a woman over 50. I've had brain fog, debilitating, where I couldn't even think of words. Like, words were just gone. Like, all of a sudden, I know what I want to say, but like, you do the workaround where you talk completely around what you're wanting to say. Yeah, been there, done that. You walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or you searched for your phone while you were actually talking on it. Yeah, you know what we're talking about here with the brain fog. Tell me I'm not alone. Tell me I'm not alone. So, like I said, I'm not looking for a miracle, but I want to support my brain as I age. And that's what lion mane can help with. My brain has been faithfully serving me every day. I need to take care of it. So instead of criticizing it and being frustrated, I need to start supporting it. So now I'm going to go here and I'm going to click right there. Cordyceps. Look at these funky looking things. So cordyceps, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. The internet does not do this mushroom any favors. Zombie fungus, I think, was one of the things, like The Last of Us, insects. It was kind of gross. Like, I almost stopped researching right there because it was kind of freaky. Thankfully, curiosity won, and the cordyceps used in supplements is cultivated in controlled environments. It's been used for centuries in traditional wellness, and it practices and supports vitality, stamina, endurance. And that caught my attention because fatigue has been one of the biggest challenges of my life. Living with fatigue changes the way you think about energy. You don't just fill your calendar, you negotiate with it. And I still look at my calendar every day. I look at my week before I commit to things because I've learned to work with my body instead of against it. But cordyceps also brings me to ATP. And we talked about ATP when we talked about creatine. ATP is the energy currency of every cell in our body, every heartbeat, every breath, every step, every thought depends on ATP. And researchers are studying cordyceps because of its potential role in supporting the body's natural energy production and oxygen utilization. So it's supporting us, not replacing it, supporting it, not forcing it, supporting it. We need all the support we can get. And that changes how I think about energy. Because instead of asking, why am I so tired? I start asking, what does my body need from me? How can I help it? How can I help it? And that's where cordyceps come into play. So now we've got reishi. So we're on mushroom number 3, reishi. So pretty interesting mushroom. It's called the mushroom of immortality. And it's been called that for more than 2,000 years. And I'm not trying to live forever, not in this system, but I'm just trying to make it through the afternoon without feeling exhausted. Anybody else? Anybody else want that? And as I researched it, I learned that Reishi's traditionally been valued for supporting calm resilience. It balances and helps the body to adapt to stress. And there was that word again, balance and adapt. So everything I keep reading and researching leads back to balance. And I started thinking differently a little bit about stress. Our bodies are designed to protect us from danger. The problem is most of us aren't running from bears. We're running from overflowing calendars, endless notifications on our phones, and our family responsibilities, deadlines, stress, the world that never seems to stop. And our bodies don't always know the difference. They simply try to protect us. And that changed something inside me. So instead of asking, why can't I keep up? I started asking, how can I help my body feel safe enough to rest? And rest stopped becoming something that I had to earn. It became something that I wanted to honor. I wanted to honor that rest. All righty. Because rest is so important. Absolutely important. The next one on our list is chaga. So chaga. Honestly, it looked like someone glued a piece of burnt charcoal onto the side of a tree. That's what chaga looks like. If I saw that in the woods, I never would have guessed it would be a mushroom. There's no way. Now, people have been brewing chaga into tea for centuries. And what fascinated me was learning about antioxidants. You know, we hear that word all the time. Blueberries have antioxidants. You need to have your resveratrol. Green tea has antioxidants. Dark chocolate has antioxidants. But I never really understood exactly why they mattered until I started doing my deep dives. I learned about oxidative stress. So let's think about oxidative stress for a second. How can we use this in an analogy? Um, think about an old truck or an old bike that's been sitting outside for years. Rust doesn't happen overnight. It happens a little bit every single day. Our bodies experience something similar. Every breath we take, every meal we eat, every time our cells make energy, it creates free radicals. And that's part of being alive. The amazing part is our bodies are constantly protecting us, repairing us, maintaining us. So without us ever noticing that these things are happening in the background. So my body's been quietly protecting me every single day of my life. And chaga helps with that. It helps remove that oxidative stress. It gives us the oxygen. It fights the rust that's happening in our cells. And that's kind of an important thing. Kind of an important thing. So now we've got turkey tail. And turkey tail is so cute. It's such a cute little mushroom. There it is. It is beautiful. And I think that it's one of the prettiest mushrooms that I've researched. It grows in these beautiful, colorful layers, and it really looks like the feathers of a turkey. And researchers have spent years studying the compounds in turkey tail because of how they interact with the immune system. You want to boost your immune system? Turkey tail. And the thing is the immune system's not a light switch. It's not about boosting it as high as possible. It's about, that word again, balance. It's about recognizing what belongs in our body and what doesn't. It's about communicating and responding and knowing when to calm down. And that level of intelligence amazed me. I also learned that compounds from turkey tail have been used alongside conventional cancer treatments in certain situations in Japan. That made me look a little bit. Not instead of medicine, alongside medicine. And that became personal for me because, my dad's cancer journey. It reminds me how important it is to keep asking questions, keep learning. Because what if? What if I would have known that? What if we could have tried something? So, but we'll never know, right? So turkey tail keeps reminding me that my immune system, it's been standing guard every single day. And we don't take it. We take it for granted. We don't notice it. So we need to fortify it so that it can continue to do its job to keep us safe. Because that's important. We want that. Alrighty. King Trumpet. King Trumpet, I didn't know anything about this. I had never heard about this mushroom until I read it on the back of the label. But as I learned, it has a naturally occurring antioxidant. Again, antioxidant. And this specific antioxidant is called ergothioneine. And some of you, we've talked a little bit about another product, an anti-aging product that I use, has ergothioneine in it. Well, it came from King Trumpet. And researchers are studying this because of its role in protecting cells from oxidative stress. Again, keeping our cells from rusting, basically. We don't want to become in a rusty old bucket. So that rabbit hole of oxidative stress led me to learning more about the heart. Well, last couple of weeks, that's become more personal because we ended up in the hospital with my mom after an abnormal EKG from a little spell. But thankfully, the immediate emergency was ruled out, but we're still waiting for more answers. But it made me stop to appreciate something that I take for granted every day, that the average heart beats around 100,000 times every single day. That's a lot. It never asks for recognition. It never takes a vacation. It doesn't get a break. It just keeps faithfully serving us over and over and over. And King Trumpet reminded me that sometimes the greatest miracles are the ones that are happening quietly inside us every second of every day. So we got to take care of that heart. King Trumpet helps us with our heart health. So now we've got, I think we need to add this one. Yeah. So shiitake. So this is the 7th one, the last mushroom. And this was the funniest for me because I've seen shiitake mushrooms in restaurants for years. I still don't like them. I've tried. I have tried so much to like shiitake, but I don't. No amount of butter or garlic has convinced me, like, which is kind of funny because every morning when I'm drinking my rise, somehow it's remarkable because all these 7 mushrooms that I would never eat, still like them, are delicious. And researching shiitake, pretty interesting. Shiitake is pretty powerful. It has beta glucans. I use beta glucan on my skincare. I'm a holistic skin expert. One of my ingredients on one of my anti-aging facials is beta glucan. Also has B vitamins. We need that for energy. It has minerals. It has fiber, antioxidants. And that's how our body works. It's not just one thing. Nothing works alone. Our brain depends on our heart. Our immune system depends on healthy cells. Everything is connected. And that's why I go back to that symphony. The body is a symphony. Every instrument has a different job. None of them play the whole song themselves. The same is true for healthy aging. There's never one supplement. It's never one food. It's never one workout. All of the small choices that we make every day all work together. And that's what brings us to where we're at. Like, it's all these tiny little things that we do on a daily basis. So that is the Cliff Notes version, as Cliff Notey as I could get, of the 7 adaptogenic mushrooms that are found in Rise. So these 7 mushrooms taught me a lot, made me fall in love with the incredible body that we have and appreciate it in a whole new way. Do I love mushrooms? No, still don't love mushrooms to eat, but I will drink it every day so that I feel good and give my body a leg up. So that is today's investigation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, as you know, you can always message me. I'd be happy to answer any question that you may have, and we'll chat about it. If you want to go deeper dive, check my blog. A lot more information, and some of the things that we'll be talking about more, like hair growth. The mushrooms aid with the hair growth is just insane. But there's so many things that the mushrooms can help with. So if you're curious about that, by all means, message me. I'll be happy to talk with you, share more knowledge, because if I did it all on this live, it would be long and overwhelming, and you would never retain it all. So that being said, I hope you have an amazing Monday. Enjoy, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good one. Bye.